People on the internet do not know who you are, and they do not know what you're capable of and your skill set and your level of skill set. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brandy Morgan. We talk about all things freelance, working remote, and creating a life that you want outside of the normal 9-to-5 job. Today's video is a more come hang out with me. Let's talk about freelancing. Let's talk about what it really is. So if you want to be part of this freelance family, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. And of course, please give this video a thumbs up so I know you like this type of content and I can keep creating it for you. Right, so as you saw by the title of this video, what is freelancing and what is remote work? What's the difference, or is there a difference? So I'm going to our good friend Google to see what Google says on freelancing before I talk about what it is and what really goes into it. So Google says, which I'm going to read right here, working for different companies at different times rather than being permanently employed by that company. What that means is, as a freelancer, you can actually work for multiple companies at the same time, at different times, depending on how you create your schedule or your office hours with that company. For me, I usually work with a few different clients at the same time, but I set up different office hours and I structure my days so I work on certain projects at certain times and certain clients at different times. Now, remote working, per Google, remote work suggests that the employee, keyword there, employee, is just that. They're remotely located. So as a freelancer, you are not employed by a company. So the company is not providing you with health insurance or any sort of benefits, whether that's a 401k. There's a ton of employee perks nowadays, especially in the tech world. So as a freelancer, you do not have access to those things. You are just a contractor. So they usually bring on a freelancer for a certain type of project or a project where they need specialization or expertise in. Not all the time, but if you are going to go work as a contractor or a freelancer for a larger company, oftentimes they'll bring you in if you are specialized. And that's something I always tell if you're in the software space, software development space, specialized. It has a ton of benefits and perks besides just becoming really good at a language or framework. But if you are remotely located or you work remotely, which I say I work remotely because I work for myself technically, but I work from my house. So if you are a employee of a company but you have the ability to work remote, which is amazing, that means it's kind of like, you feel like you have that freelance vibe, but you're not actually seeking out clients. You already have the client that's paying for everything. You have your insurance, you have your benefits, you have all that stuff through them. So the biggest thing that I see with freelancers, and if you guys don't know, I have an online school where I teach people freelancing, like how to actually build a profitable 6-figure freelance business. So if you're interested, the link is in my description. 100% check it out. It's $15 a month, or you can pay $120 and own it forever. And right now there is a back to school special on the lifetime membership. So if you use back to school, you'll save $20 on that membership. But anyways, freelancing, a lot of people don't realize that half of freelancing is sales and marketing. And I know if you are in the tech space, that is something that is probably unfamiliar to you. You're like, well, I get paid to write code, or I get paid to design, or I get paid to edit videos. If you want to be a freelancer, you have to understand sales and marketing. You have to be able to put yourself out there and in front of people to get clients. That is the number one thing that I see people are like unaware of, or they don't realize that there's a real art to it. Ugh. Ew, I'm pretty sure that is a hair. Ugh, from the microphone. Yuck. Anyways, okay. Hold on. Alright, back to sales and marketing. As a freelancer, it is an art going out and talking about what it is that you do. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that people on the internet do not know who you are, and they do not know what you're capable of and your skill set and your level of skill set. So you need to show them in the quickest way possible how amazing you are and how you are the best fit for that contract role. So you need to make sure you don't, I go back and forth on this because I pretty much have had an entire freelancing career without a portfolio. But I do recommend people that are just starting out, if they don't have one. I've been able to get by without it because of my presence on social media, which I don't even have the massive presence. Like, I'm so thankful I just got to 7,000 subscribers on here. So thank you. Like, this is amazing. But I started getting clients when I had like 300 subscribers on here. It was the fact that I was talking about different technologies or different, strategies, whether that in marketing and social media, and I started to brand myself as an expert in a certain area. And if you don't want to do that, if you do not want to go the social media route, marketing route, like branding yourself in that expert, like personal branding, then you need to have a portfolio that shows your work. Either one is fine, but that's where I'm showing you the difference. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, you don't need a portfolio. Yeah, I've done all of this without one. I have a portfolio just in case somebody ever wants to see it, but I've never had to share it with anybody. But it is good to have. But if you don't have a portfolio, have the personal branding, because I can only speak to that because that is what I have used, and that has what got me to where I am today. You know what I mean? So I can only speak to what has worked for me and what I see other people doing. When I was in school and I was just starting, of course I had a portfolio because I was seeking out job opportunities. But if you're going the freelance route, you need to be able to show people work that you've done. And if you're a web developer or a software developer or designer and that's what you're saying you do, and your portfolio looks like, you need to use some sort of template, bootstrap your website. There's like 1,000,001 templates you can use, whether that's WordPress, Wix, Webflow. There are so many. Like, there's no excuse to have a crappy looking portfolio. There really isn't. You can use Just Host for hosting for like less than $2 a month, I think. It's super cheap. So that should not be your excuse. There are so many things you can go. I think there's a website, it's like called Start Bootstrap or Bootstrap something. Literally just Google free Bootstrap templates and you can download them. And if you understand HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can change it and create all your stuff in it. It's super easy. Trust me. I've done it. I digress. So freelancing, the biggest difference is the sales and marketing. Like, you have to be able to sell yourself to a stranger over the internet. Or you can do the in-person selling, whether that's locally to businesses or restaurants around you. We have friends that do that and they're great at it. They go to networking things back when networking was a thing, and they got a lot of clients like that. We used to have clients around here as well in the Orlando area, but with everything, I would rather have a strong online presence because my ability to reach people is far greater than it would be if I was just networking with people in person. So weigh your pros and cons, and it's also where you're located. I'm here in the US, which is amazing because I can probably work with a lot of US companies. If you are not in the US, you may not have that luxury. It just depends. I can't speak to that because I have lived here my whole life. I do know, though, my husband's company, which is a SaaS company, he hires people remotely that are not here in the US. One of them actually came from this channel in my Instagram, somebody that had been asking me questions about React for many years. I think 2017 was the first time him and I connected. And he was a super nice individual, and now he works for my husband's company as a junior developer. So things happen, and it all literally goes down to selling yourself. This guy, honestly, probably wasn't like, he wasn't not a, sorry guys, it's thundering out here. Let's go check it out quick. I don't know if you can see. All right, sorry guys. It's raining and thundering super loud outside. We live in Florida and it's the rainy season right now, which means, chances of hurricanes, stuff like that. And so, let me set you back up. All right, so the biggest thing that I want to get across in this video was, if you are wanting to become a freelancer because you think it's easy, It's not. I'm like, you're not given a paycheck every single month or every 2 weeks just because you're employed. You're the one that is actually seeking out clients and contracts. You have to be actively looking, whether that's on LinkedIn Jobs, Facebook Jobs, Indeed, the hundreds of job boards that are out there for contract and remote work. You have to be diligent on that and make sure that you're making enough money to pay your bills. With all that being said, I think freelancing is amazing. It gives me the opportunity to work with a ton of different people all over the country and all over the world, and I get to work on different things. So if I don't feel like doing a development project, I can do a marketing project. If I don't want to do a marketing project, I can do a video editing project. The reason why is I consider myself a jill of all trades, and I've been employed as a freelancer in a ton of different areas, doing a ton of different things, if that makes sense. So the real difference, like, that is freelancing. Like, you are the sales, you are the marketing, and you are also the one doing the work. Unless you want to start hiring people. People reach out to me all the time saying that they're willing to, like, help me with different projects and stuff. I've never taken that on, just because right now I love being a company of one. Right now I don't have the goal of building an agency. My husband had an agency and they were doing crazy money. They were doing almost $50K a month, if not more. And they could have really built it into something bigger because him and his brother are amazing software developers and they just can pump out a ton of code. But that's totally up to you and what you want to do. For me, I also have my business, which is my school. So that's another area of revenue that I have coming in, and that's actually what I'm most passionate about, is building that. So the freelancing for me helps me be able to work on my school as well. So figure out, like, what works for you. If you are wanting the freedom to work wherever, whenever, to work on different types of projects, work with different types of people, and you also don't have that ceiling when it comes to earning, go after freelancing. But you also have to have that go-getter attitude, and you have to be willing to do the sales and the marketing side of it, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Alright, you guys, that was just my little video. Let me know if you liked it in the comments. I definitely want to do these more impersonal videos with you just because I want to get to know you guys better. I want you to get to know me better and what I'm working on, and not so edited education style. So I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel below.